What's up, everybody? Timeout Podcast is back for episode 2. Steve, talk to me, man. A lot has happened. A lot has happened this week. NFL, free agency, Premier League title race. Let's get right to it.
All right. With the NFL thing, just one thing out to my Giants fans out there.
Oh, my gosh.
Why do you guys support this team? Literally, we can't produce anything. We can't draft properly. We can't do anything in free agency. We can't even give someone a contract. Saquon signing to Philly is probably one of the biggest. I don't know, one of the biggest disappointments out there in New York history.
Okay.
This has to be New York history.
Okay.
This has to be one of the worst things to happen in New York history because Philly.
Yeah.
Out of all teams,
it was a direct message to the Giants. It was a direct message to the Giants. But
not
Steve,
disrespectful
before we really let's start off like this. What would you say is which move has had the biggest impact, or what would you say is the biggest move of free agency so far? There's been a few stunners.
The biggest move has to be Derrick Henry going to Baltimore so far. That gives Baltimore a leg up. But once again, it always comes to to the playoffs, because to see how Lamar is gonna react to that. He lost last year to my
focus on
my Mahomes. What we talking about football, right? Lamar, we're not worried about the regular season for Lamar. Lamar's gonna have a great regular season. Lamar and Derrick Henry are gonna have great regular seasons. For the Titans, it's all about the postseason.
The Ravens.
All right, my bad. The Ravens. My bad. Derrick Henry, Titans. Ravens. The Ravens, it's all about the postseason. If it all depends on what scheme they decide to run. If they're actually going to run the football, then I think this brings the Ravens to probably top of the list to probably win the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, they're tier
A. Right now, if the odds came out right now, I think they'll be favored to win
the Super Bowl.
To win the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to coaching once again. Are they going to play their style of football? Or are they going to try to have Lamar just throw the damn ball all the time?
Yeah. Well, okay. I would say that is the biggest move. But I think a low-key move, I think Joe Mixon to the Texans is the Texans were, not that they were close to beating Baltimore last year in the playoff game, but they were in the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback who probably next year will probably be a top 10, top 7 quarterback in football. So
to have a regular season like that,
and then add a player like a Joe Mixon with another year of C.J. Stroud. The AFC is always going to be a strong conference, but at the same time, the AFC kind of got, I don't know, I feel like the AFC shifted its power, so it's not as, like Josh Jacobs, for example, going to the NFC, for example, right? Josh Jacobs going to the NFC. Derrick Henry leaving the Titans, you know what I'm saying? So then he ends up on Baltimore. Tony Pollard did come to the Titans, you know what I'm saying? So the AFC is still going to be, but I think the AFC is a little more the NFC, I think the NFC got stronger than the AFC in free agency. So I think it is another good year for the Texans to actually compete again and actually make some noise.
I think they definitely will make noise. The Texans will make noise. C.J. Stroud is proving that he is him. His first year so far, he has proven that he is him. And the Texans have a great future coming up. Joe Mixon joining them obviously brings out. It helps the running game. Mm-hmm. Like CJ can throw the ball. Now the running game just improved a lot better.
You know what I think? What was a low key move? Zach Moss to Cincinnati. A lot of people sleep on a player like him because he's not a Saquon name, a Derrick Henry name. But if you look at his production last year, he was doing more than enough for the Colts. And even when Jonathan Taylor was back, he was still producing. So
he's a solid running back.
You're giving him a whole backfield to himself. with a pretty formidable offense already. Like the Colts were a decent team, but we're talking about the Bengals. He could actually make some noise too.
With hopefully Joe Burrow being healthy again, right? With Joe Burrow coming back into that lineup again, hopefully the Bengals can repeat what they did 2 years ago.
Okay.
If they can repeat that, then I think adding Zach Moss to that situation improves their running game.
Yeah.
You already know you got the arm. You already know you got Chase who can catch the hell out of a ball, who can run after the catch is amazing. But the Giants, man.
So yeah,
what we doing, man?
Okay, so let's shift gears. Now, we can both agree probably that Baltimore's move is probably the biggest move so far.
Biggest move so far, yes.
So now, when we talk about biggest disappointment, most disappointing team in free agency.
I mean, being from New York, it has to be the New York teams. It has to be the Giants. Yeah. We just lost a top tier running back in Saquon Barkley. We barely got a quarterback in Daniel Jones. Like, what we doing?
So, okay. I think, hear me out. I think the easy answer is the Giants. Yes, disappointing 100%. No doubt about it. But I will say that Saquon, like, they've made some other moves. They've worked on their line, both sides of the ball. Like, they're not, like, for example, like, a story with Daniel Jones a lot of these years, to be fair, has been the offensive line.
All right.
Right? And I'm not here to argue that Daniel Jones is good. But I'm saying I feel like
he's
maybe
shown something. Let's not just like he's shown something.
Yeah.
But it's just
So for me, I feel like they have worked on certain things that, like, okay, like, let's say if a Saquon leaves, it's okay, like, you know, maybe you could still hold up. Like Devin Singletary, who is the Texans running back, like, he's not a Saquon Barkley, but, like, you're not getting a bum either, you know? Like,
you're not
like
you have a bum in the quarterback.
I will say though, a disappointing team for me is the Cowboys. They just lost Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard did not show enough, in my opinion, to be a straight up running back one. But you would think that the Cowboys could get.
I thought they were going to go after Derrick
Henry.
I thought, like, if they got Derrick Henry, they would have been a solid
or
team.
even an Aaron Jones or Josh Jacobs, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if not Derrick Henry or
then
like,
one of those elite running backs.
That second tier.
Right?
They haven't.
So does that mean that their offense is going to be tilted towards Dak throwing the ball more?
I mean, they still have to get a running back. It depends.
No, they still have to get a running back, but, like, there's no top name running backs really out there like that anymore.
I mean, it depends on what they the offseason is not over yet.
True.
Like,
depends
they
on
still
the trades that they make.
Back. Like, we can't make that. I can't proclaim too early. That's too early. I feel like it's too early to say that. But probably, yeah. He throws the ball a lot. This past year he was MVP candidate. You know what I'm saying? Like, he showed
him throwing the ball means usually that someone else is catching it from the opposing team. So then,
you got to give him credit. The year he just had,
he had a great year, but, like, still,
you don't got to be a hater.
These receptions are still.
You don't got to be a hater.
I'm not hating.
Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb was arguably, other than
Cowboys.
Tyreek Hill, the best wideout in football this year. Who's throwing him the ball? You got to give them credit. Like,
they had a solid regular season. Dak had a solid regular season, but once again, when it comes to playoffs, he's proven that he just can't handle it.
Okay. Yeah, like I would say Giants, but within that division, I would say Giants and Cowboys.
What's your message out there to our Giants fans out there? What's the message of encouragement? Like, what's the...
First of all, let me say this to Saquon.
Us being from New York.
Let me say this to Saquon, if I'm being honest. I totally understand your move. Look.
From a business side.
No, from everything.
As a fan, you understand as a fan too?
From everything. Like, from a fan, yeah. You have to be honest with
From a Giants fan?
No, let me tell you why. Because I'm one of the biggest Carmelo Anthony fans. Growing up, I was one of the biggest Carmelo Anthony fans, right?
Yeah, we know that.
And for me, if I'm being honest, I didn't want Saquon to make the same mistake Melo made. Like,
staying too long
in New York. Because New York, in my opinion, is that type of city, like, when things get bad, right?
They get
really bad, but also it's such a great city that you want to be the guy to lift it up.
Yeah.
So then you lose track of
the years that you have
the
left,
years that you have left, especially as a running back.
Potential
Like
to join other teams.
So from that perspective, like bro, like put yourself in his shoes. What reason would you have to stay in New York?
From a business point, I'm leaving the Giants.
There's no
business
point.
Business
and
point.
They paid Daniel Jones before him. Like nah, bro.
And we know that as running backs, their careers are a lot shorter than other positions.
Yeah.
So as a running back, you have to do what you gotta do to win now
and get your money now.
Get your money now and win now. Most running backs do have that idea. Like we need to win now because like you never know when the ACL could go. You never know when the MCL can go. You never know when a bad hit, a bad concussion, like what it can like cause you. The physical damage that it can, like the toll that it takes on your body to be a running back. First things first. So from the business side, I get that, but as a Giants fan, Philly.
But they didn't offer him nothing, though. They didn't offer him nothing.
I get the offering nothing, but Philly.
They didn't offer. Okay.
Like, that's how you know he wasn't a real Giants fan.
You could look at it like that, or you could look at it like, time out. We didn't offer him anything.
It's just the first day. There's other teams out there.
The Giants didn't know that he was going to be a free agent?
No. From the Giants business side, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. But from a Saquon Barkley side, there's other teams. Just let it calm down. There's other teams out there.
But how many teams you got to think about this. How many teams can afford the money he's demanding, but it's also a win now team? Like, put it into perspective. He got a bigger deal than what Derrick Henry got from Baltimore. So obviously Baltimore couldn't offer him that. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
I'm trying to think of the teams that could have needed a running back.
That's like he went to a team that's not like a rising team. He went to a team that's there. Like the Texans, for example, that a lot of people say that would have been great, right? But we've also seen like those quarterbacks have great, let's say early years, first, second year, whatever, and then maybe that next year, like
take a dip.
Philly's that type of team. Like, no, they're a team that's a now team. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and then especially I think last year it looked like Jalen Hurts was playing injured last year. Mm-hmm. So once again, it improves their running game. Just got a lot better. Their offense in general just got a lot better. They just have to find a way to, with Kelsey retiring, so they have to find a way to get a center now.
Yeah.
Philly's looking they're looking tough.
Well, they're nasty. I would say top 3-4 Super Bowl contenders has to be, not in order, but Baltimore, Philly, Kansas City, and
I think with respect, you had to put Kansas. Like even though they really didn't make any moves yet, but with respect,
I would say Kansas City, Baltimore, Kansas City, Baltimore.
But I think the favorites to win it right now will probably still be Baltimore.
Yeah. I'm just saying if I was a top 3-4, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So Steve, let's shift gears to Premier League. Look, like this weekend was crazy.
It was
and this race has been like this has been one of the better races.
This is the closest that I've seen, especially one of those races.
Like more of the Pep era. There's been the Man City, Liverpool.
This is
back and forth. But if a 3-way like this, it's crazy.
Well, Arsenal being a top team now once again. So then, who would you say will win the EPL this year?
If I had to put money on it, I would say Man City still.
Based off what they did prior years, or with how the team is looking still this year?
A combination of both. Because in my opinion, Liverpool's close. They are close. But Man City, in my opinion, I feel like teams have shown that they can give them a tough game.
Right.
But I don't think a lot of teams have shown they can actually beat them.
Okay.
Like, I don't mean to talk about Chelsea. But, like, for example, Chelsea's played some of the best games of the season.
Against top teams, but you guys still are still in 10th place.
I'm just talking about 10th place. I'm just talking about Man City.
Okay.
Right? Chelsea gave them some great games. Both were ties, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's that little, can you actually beat them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's probably impossible to do.
I don't think it's not impossible.
I'm saying it's looking impossible.
No,
it's
I
looking
disagree.
impossible.
I think it's harder to beat Man City than it is harder to beat
Liverpool Arsenal.
and Arsenal. And Liverpool has had a lot of. There's always something going on, an injury or something. To be fair, they've kind of dealt with them.
They dealt with them,
but Man City's starting to get healthy. Man City, And I think Man City, when they hit their stride, I don't think we've really, like, they've hit their stride, but they haven't hit their Man City stride. Like, when they hit their stride, I don't see, like, they're obviously the best team, in my opinion.
Okay, in order for Man City to win, though, do you think, let me rephrase the question. Have you seen an improvement from Haaland in order to say that Man City definitely can win the EPL this year? From how he looked last year, is he the same player this year, or is he better, though?
That's not all what it's about. I would say he's probably a similar player, but the same way you could say that is the same way I could tell you Foden looks way better.
No, Foden looks like he took
another step. Pep said this. Pep said Foden is the Premier League player of the year this year. He's not that far off.
He's not. He's really not.
That's what I'm saying. Really, you got a guy like De Bruyne. We don't got to talk about him. But, like, I'm just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the same way you could say, like, it's like Rodri looks just as good, if not better.
Their defense still looks solid.
To be fair, Liverpool has improved a lot. They actually have. I didn't think they were gonna last this long, but I kind of see the whole Klopp farewell tour thing. Like, you know, kind of like it might.
They want to make it a bigger statement, I think, and him winning the EPL one last time as a farewell thing will be so amazing, because, like, what he brought to that city, what he did for Liverpool is insane. For them to win their Champions League, for them to win the Premier League, and still now be a top, like, back then when the Coutinhos and the Suarez were there, like, they were okay teams, but they ain't winning anything. But like now with the Salahs, with the Manes, they actually did win something. Yeah. And this year, I don't think they're gonna win it this year. I think I'm still leaning towards Man City in a way, because I'm still waiting for. Like, I think Arsenal is gonna be Arsenal. Arsenal's gonna be Arsenal. I think. Like, they always somehow seem to always have they always start off good, but somehow Arsenal just drops. Yeah. Their level of play just drops. But, like, also now they're also competing in Champions League also, with the EPL. Player fatigue might have something to do with it. But I just think Man City
they're all playing in that, though. They're all playing in the second.
Yeah, but I think just Man City with the experience that they have.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say? So what would be your order, prediction-wise?
Prediction-wise, I think it's going to be City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Okay. In that order. You?
And do you think it would be? But do you think it would still be as close? Like, do you think by the end of the season?
No, I think it's going to be close. Yeah, like, I think Man City can win it probably by like 2 points.
So like that's like a last.
I think it's going to be like a last game. Yeah. Like, I think it's going to be like one of those games where Man City's going to keep winning. Liverpool's going to mess up in one of these games and just tie one of these games. Arsenal's going to end up losing to, like, probably like one of the worst teams.
You know what's crazy?
In the league.
I actually think like low key, I feel like Liverpool has shown a little more toughness than us. Like, Liverpool last week, Darwin with a 90th minute game winner, match winner. Like, Liverpool, like, that's why I feel like, okay, if it was to go down to the final 2 games, I would take Liverpool. Because not only, I think they've shown more toughness.
They've shown the toughness, but like,
they have the quality. It's not about
no. They have the quality.
And I think Man City, in my opinion, Man City has shown more vulnerability.
They have
to drop points than Liverpool. Liverpool in the toughest of games still find a way. I hate Liverpool, but I'm saying, like, for example, like, I don't mean to talk about Chelsea again, but like Van Dijk's
Van Dijk, he's one heck of a center back.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they always, like, good teams find a way. Like, one of my coaches always told me, a good team is gonna find a way to lose. A bad team will find a way. I mean, a good team gonna find a way to win. A bad team gonna find a way to lose. And Liverpool this year is always finding a way to win. And, like, the Klopp farewell tour, the quality they have in the team, like,
this Liverpool team reminds me low key of what Barcelona did last year. Not that we're laughing about. Barca's one of the top teams out there. Let's go Barca. Let's go Lamine Yamal. But
what way does this team remind you?
No. In a way of last year, Barca, we still weren't that good last year, but we were able to just win games based off of based off what our defense did.
That's not.
No, this year we've seen the defensive side of Liverpool coming out even stronger now, where they don't have the offensive power that they had in the past. Like with Sane being, with Salah being injured, with Diego Jota being injured, all those injuries, and they're still finding ways to win games. It has to start with the defense. The defense has been able to hold out solidly. Last year, Barca's defense, our offense sucked last year. Once again. Our offense did suck last year, but like once again, the defense was able to hold it. And this year, I think that's what we're seeing with Liverpool, where their defense is able to hold it they're able to manage it.
The defense gives them a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think with City, I'm not seeing that much vulnerability from their defense, but I
disagree. I don't think City's defense has been as good. Bro, they've given up as shit as you want to say Chelsea is. What was the score? 4-4 one of the games. What was the other one?
The last one that they played was like 1-1.
1-1 maybe. Yeah, so it's like I'm just saying, like, City's shown like they give up goals. Liverpool, a lot of their games, I feel like a Liverpool tough game a lot of times is a low scoring match. 1-0,
it's gonna be a
2-1,
0-0,
whatever.
yeah.
0-0. City
They don't give up
has
like
shown
3,
that
4
they
goals.
can give up goals. That's why I don't think it's the same. Liverpool, like, bro, they're tough, bro.
They're
like, okay, as much as let me give you an example. As much as Chelsea shitted the bed in the final, right?
Okay.
And Liverpool was playing with a lot of
youngsters.
They had a lot of injuries, right?
Youngsters.
They had a lot of injuries.
Youngsters.
But as much as you can say that, they didn't look bad though. Like they showed quality.
Yeah.
So it's like Liverpool, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I would say City, but if it goes down, I think City wins because I think City can get. Maybe Liverpool drops points maybe a little bit down the way. But if it goes down to the last 2 games, like on some Aguero shit, I think Liverpool wins.
Right now, so we're agreeing that Arsenal is just going to finish number 3. Mm-hmm. Without, like, off the bat, Arsenal is finishing number 3. Like, yeah, y'all had some, like, Mikel Arteta, you're doing your stuff. Arsenal, man, praise to you guys. Saka, you're doing great. Odegaard, amazing job in the midfield. But y'all a 3rd place team.
He's a baller, though.
You guys are not a Premier League winning team yet.
No, they're a good team though. They're
great. They're a great, solid team.
They're a good team.
I just don't. This season, they're not winning Premier League.
No,
like they're top of the team right now.
They're not competing because Chelsea's gonna buy all these teams.
Chelsea what?
Focus.
No, because I remember last year you told me that
focus.
We're supposed to be better this year.
Focus.
You guys are.
So look,
what, 10th or 11th?
Focus.
Like, I keep losing track.
Focus.
But I know it's on like I know it's between those numbers. Is it 10 or 11th? Like, Chelsea fans out there, you guys are in 10th place or 11th place?
Next question, like, what we do? Like,
I just want to make sure that. I just want to make sure that the Chelsea fans out there, y'all need to humble yourselves. Y'all need to y'all need to stop talking. Like, y'all need to stop talking. Stop praising this team. This is not a top 6 team in the Premier League.
Would Barcelona be a top 6 team in Premier League?
Yes, we have a lot of young talent that's capable of doing exactly.
Who's your young talent?
Huh?
Who's your young talent?
Lamine Yamal. He's the next GOAT.
Next GOAT? Yo, look who's behind you right now. Yo,
no. We're not talking about this caliber GOAT. We're talking about like the.
Oh, so you're one of those people that just throw around GOAT.
No. I don't just throw out GOAT. We're talking like the Ronaldo kind of GOATs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're so disrespectful.
I'm not.
But
Lamine Yamal is gonna be him. Give him 2-3 more years.
Whatever, man.
I promise you, that youngster.
He's a good player, bro.
He's like what, 16, 17 right now. I promise you. Give him 3-4 more years. Let him be a man, and you'll see what happens. You see what happens. You see what happens. When he becomes
time out.
When he becomes a garçon. When he becomes a garçon, I promise you, you're gonna see something from him.
All right, man.
His quality is gonna change.
Okay,
but let's change. Let's switch now to something that I'm seeing in the NBA that I'm really not liking so much. Mm-hmm. It's the 65 game limit. Okay. Where, like, as in, like, today Donovan Mitchell is technically has missed too many games to be eligible to have any awards really part of his name. So what, in your opinion, do you think the 65 game limit is good or bad for basketball?
I think they had the right idea, wrong execution.
Okay.
Do
Do you think it should still You think it should stay 65, or you think that number should lower to like 60 maybe?
I think 60 is good. I think 55 sounds a little far now. No,
like
wait, 82?
Like, to play 55 games though in a season, I think you can still. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can't. 55.
What, 55. What you missed? What 27?
That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount.
That's a lot of games.
That's a crazy amount. All right, but like okay, 60. Let's say 60. You missed 22 games. I think 22 games is solid enough. But like with the 65 limit thing, I think Adam Silver and them went into it with a positive mindset, with a positive, like, you know, a great change as to what the game management thing was just not it. Right? Mm-hmm. Players just missing out games just because I don't know, because like it's tough to say, because like it's tough because like injuries are a part of the sport, and like sometimes as a player you could get injured, and like us the media or like us the fans, we don't know if it's real or not. Yeah. So I think the NBA tried their best, but this season it's just not working this season. Because ain't no way that Donovan Mitchell's about to miss out.
You know what's crazy about it? It pushed players to play. But now we're also seeing the other factor of like, they're actually humans and like they get injuries.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I say right move, wrong, right idea, wrong execution. Like maybe it should have been 60 from the start to think about the injuries, or maybe it should have been. It's hard to say like there could be like a certain how do I say this?
Game limit or
not like, game limit. I'm like you can't be on some like 65, but if you have a real injury, kind of like changes. Because also at the same time, like a team could list somebody under an injury, and then just to get that.
You don't know what an injury is or like
for real. So it's kind of like.
It's like
I feel like I do like 60 because honestly,
22 games like. You gotta give these players some days.
You gotta play.
but you do gotta play too.
17 games. If you was to play 63 games and not be able to get an award, it's kind of crazy to me. 63, you still played a lot of games, I would say. And like, bro, like remember, like for example, like when Halliburton, like when he was driving and he like almost tore, like he strained his hamstring, but like he was like it looked like it could have been bad.
It looked bad. And
in the season he was having
to what he is playing like now.
Yeah.
It's two different things. Well, I think he's still injured, and he's just forcing himself to play
to get the money,
just to get his money.
Yeah,
and also to be eligible to have to be part of those awards. Like Donovan Mitchell is missing out.
Well, Embiid is one thing because Embiid tore
his but like that's early on, like what 40 games, 30, 40 games.
The thing is with Embiid though, it's kind of like that's tough for me because like. I don't think anybody can argue this year he was obviously the MVP.
He would have been MVP if he finished the season.
But at the same time, like you can't play 50 games to get an MVP. So like once he tore it, either whether this rule was made or not, I think he would have lost it.
Okay, but like now with
Donovan
the NBA
Mitchell,
awards,
bro, the Cavs have been like,
and you can't tell me that in the time of games that he did play, you can't tell me that he wasn't a top 3 guard in the East. Or top 3 guard in basketball in general.
Oh,
so he was a top 3 guard?
Relax. Donovan Mitchell was a top 3 guard in basketball this year?
At least the top 6 then, at least. Top 6.
Okay, so you would say he's not a top 3 guard.
Like, top 3, we're pushing because...
Let me ask you this. Was Donovan Mitchell a top 3 guard in basketball this year?
You still got the...
Yes or no?
Top 3, no.
Okay.
Top 6, Top 6, I'll take him top 6.
Okay.
Top 6. But like him missing out on potentially not finishing as a top 6 guard just because he did get injured, and now missing out on money potentially for the next seasons coming up. Now with the 65 game limit, how would you
change it?
Would you change it?
Yes, easy. You have to change it. Like, bro, we literally wouldn't, like, because the problem here is that you're not getting guys that, well, obviously not every year that's gonna happen, to be fair. Like every year, like an MVP is gonna get that injured. But like right now, like you just got two guys that I think 95% at least, or 98 or whatever percent of NBA fans would tell you that they would have been an all NBA player.
Yep.
Embiid is 100%.
Donovan Mitchell, I think, would have.
You had to make a stop.
Ain't no way that.
With the year they're having,
ain't
so
no
like,
way.
Bro, like you're gonna have a guy like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like downgrade anybody else's year, but like you're gonna have players that are getting these awards, but like everybody knows that like
who will say have the quality, great players, but they would have been like top 10, let's say, instead of like a top 6. Or like I think this is the first year also that NBA awards could probably have an asterisk next to their name, like next to them. Even with the MVP votings in a way. With the MVP stats, you can still probably have an asterisk around these players. I don't know. Like I can't. Like, did the NBA fumble this or?
I don't think they fumbled it because at the same time, like anybody in life, like you gotta like try things out to know it don't work, right? And it was getting ridiculous from a fan perspective, from like any perspective you look at what the NBA was going through with the load management stuff. It was getting out of control. But I think like I don't think they fumbled it because at the same time you can't predict that the MVP is gonna like how many times. Think about before this year. Do you remember a year that the MVP, like the person that's probably the MVP or like even top 2 or 3, literally lost the award because of an injury?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you can't predict that this is gonna happen. Like
and like those MVPs
and Donovan Mitchell is bad. I think, in my opinion, I think the All NBA award ones are worse than the MVP because MVP, like I said, if he was to miss this many games, whether this rule or not was here, he would have lost the MVP.
We get that, yeah.
But Donovan Mitchell, if he plays 60 games, 62 games or whatever, and in another year, he still would have got an All-NBA. So that's why I think All-NBA is worse. Because guys are losing money, but they're also losing, like, accolades for their resume.
Do you think the rules should change for All-NBA awards and NBA and the MVP awards?
But that's what it's about, though.
But like, do you think there should be different numbers for both, though?
Oh, you're saying should they be two separate?
Yeah, should they be two separate things?
I would say, nah.
I think so.
You gotta leave it this because
leave it the same.
You can't have a quality. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have a guy that let's just say a Luka. Let's just say.
Okay.
Like if Luka qualifies for All NBA. No, if Luka
All
qualifies for MVP,
team.
if Luka qualifies for MVP because let's say if MVP qualification is 60
games. This is 60 games.
Yeah.
Or do we want to give
You can't qualify. Like you can't qualify for MVP.
Let's give MVP 65 games. Let's give All NBA 60 games.
That's not bad. I don't think that's bad.
Or do you think so should MVP be more games, or should All NBA should be more games? Which one do you think should be more games actually?
MVP. That's a more serious. But
the All NBA factors into the amount of money that you might make.
Yeah.
It also factors into once again your legacy as a player, which I don't think. Do you think the NBA took that into consideration? Your legacy as a player, like
no.
you finishing like first team, second team. What does that
do
for your your career overall?
I think this whole thing is messing up accolades in general and history in general because not to take away credit from players, right? Anybody who's in an MVP consideration any year, you're having a great year.
Yeah.
But like, if Jokic wins MVP this year, what conversation are we having?
Also, your team's also having a great year.
Yes, but if Jokic wins MVP this year, what conversation are we having now? He's a 3-time MVP, like potentially 3-time MVP, 1-time champion, and what's to happen in the postseason is to be seen. 3-time MVP as you know what I'm saying, as a center. One time now what conversation are we having? Meanwhile, Embiid was the MVP. You know,
right.
And who's to know if he would have continued? But the way he was going, he was very consistent.
Right, and like with this new era of basketball, I think that matchup, Embiid, Jokic, is what we're going to be talking about in the next 10, 15
exactly.
years. Even
but
though they haven't faced each other that
But
much.
now, when kids look back at this, they're going to say, Jokic has 3, Embiid has 1. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put things, but then
like
if you put things into
with the whole
perspective,
entire Nash, Kobe, Nash.
that's different though. That's different. True. That's different. That's different than that's there was no rule thing like
Rules.
This that but yeah, I see what you mean. Like most people, everybody would tell you Kobe's a better player. Yeah. But it's now it's Jokic's resume is very hard to argue against. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very
he's Denver's number 15. What can I say?
Yo, you're so annoying.
Number 15.
You're so annoying.
Number 15. I mean, hey, he's gonna be tired up there. It's gonna be right up there.
Whatever, man. Nah, but why are we disrespecting Melo?
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying
why
number 15.
Why are we disrespecting Melo?
One person brought them an MVP and a championship.
But why? But
no, my bad. 2 MVPs and a championship.
They were one of the worst teams in the NBA the year Melo came. He led them to 8 straight playoff years.
Okay, and what else? And
Time out. Who was Jokic's competition his winning year, and who was Melo in Denver's competition?
And
tell me. No. I want you to tell me.
I want you to tell me. And
I want you to tell me.
Jokic accomplished more in that number 15 than Melo did.
Put things into perspective, though.
Once again, well, I mean, this is a great debate to have for another top.
It ain't no debate.
But I mean, you're right. There ain't no debate because we know who the real number 15 is and who's getting their retired. The number retired properly. We know that. We know Jokic is getting that number retired. Melo.
You're such a hater.
Denver fumbled their bag.
You're such a hater.
Denver messed up. Not gonna lie. Denver fucked up.
They did, bro.
Denver
it's disrespectful.
But it's right. It is a joke. It's
Maybe
okay
another
though.
Day we'll focus on this.
So then, do you think Donovan Mitchell should finish as a top 6 at least, or do you think he should be mentioned for NBA awards? I mean, based on the season that he just had, it's done now. But let's say screw that 65 game rule.
Yeah.
Is Donovan Mitchell a top?
Yes, obviously.
Okay, would you give him? If you were to give him a rank this year, is he a first team, second team, or third team?
I would say first team. I would say Luka's gonna get first team.
Okay, but it's 2 guards technically, or is it positionless or is it 2 guards? Okay.
Wait, did they change it? I would say. Sure. Nah, he's not first. He's not a first team player though.
You think he's first team?
He's not a first team. No matter if it's positionless, he's not.
Right. If he's second team, then he's competing with still.
I would say Luka and I don't know. Halliburton's kind of.
I think Luka and Shea probably got locked.
Oh shit! I forgot him. Oh
yeah. No. Luka and Shea got first team locked.
Yeah, the MVP Shea.
Yeah. Luka and Shea got that locked. I think second team would probably have to be. You have to put Brunson as number.
Nah, he's not gonna get. Nah, the second half of the year, I don't think has been. Wait. Versus Donovan Mitchell? Yeah. Okay. I
think second team's probably gonna be like. Oh no, you still got Steph too.
I don't think Steph's gonna get second. I think he's gonna get third.
Third?
Second team, I would say maybe.
It has to be either Brunson, Dame, or Steph.
Damn. Anthony Edwards.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a lot. So then just to finish it off, then, do you think Donovan Mitchell is a top 6 guard? I guess you can say.
I don't know if he's a top 6 guard. I think he's having a top 6 season. Off the top of my head.
Okay. Do you think he's having a top 6 guard season?
Yeah, easy.
So you think he's definitely making the?
No, he should.
If the rule wasn't in play this season.
Yeah, no, I agree. He should have made it. I just don't know either second or third, but he should have made All NBA easy. That's not a question. No, 100%. He should have made it. He's having a better year than every guard probably. I think Luka and Shea having better year than him, and then I think you could argue him against Steph, Brunson, You could argue him against Steph
Brunson and
Anthony Edwards is between, I think, those two classes.
Anthony Edwards,
but I would say that. But yeah, like I think the NBA the 65 game thing definitely messed up a lot of people's money, but it was the right mindset, just wrong execution. But they're gonna fix it, I think.
Okay.
They're not gonna leave
all right,
it.
Then just to recap then real quick. Giants fumbled.
Yes.
Giants fumbled. What you said? The Titans. Who had the better? In your opinion, who had the better free agency so far in football?
Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll agree with that. So Baltimore, EPL, we both agreed that third team probably Arsenal's gonna finish third, and then the race is really between Liverpool and Man City. We'll say.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't sleep on Liverpool though.
Huh?
Don't sleep on Liverpool though.
You're right about that. And then we can finish off by saying that Donovan Mitchell is definitely a top 6 guard this season. Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I think the NBA needs to get rid of.
They got it wrong in terms of execution, but they got it wrong. Yeah,
they got it wrong. But hey, listen, there's room for improvement as always. We'll see what Adam Silver comes up with next year.
Yeah, man, we gotta see.
The NBA is always a changing league. Every single season, it seems like they're adding something new, or like they're doing something different. I guess we'll get to see what happens next season.
Yes, sir.
With this rule. I guess. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Yes, sir.
See you guys next time.
Time out.
Thank you guys for watching.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button to see when we upload.
Thank you for your support. We'll see you guys next time.